The story begins with Frank, a war veteran, jolted awake by a recurring nightmare. His wife, concerned, tries to comfort him as he struggles with the haunting memories. She suggests he looks terrible and should see a doctor in town for help. Frank dismisses her concerns, claiming she knows nothing about his struggles. He insists that she could never understand the horrors he has witnessed. He believes that not even a doctor can cure the deep wounds left by the war. She stands her ground, reminding him that she has fought her own battles in life. To illustrate his trauma, Frank asks if she knows what it's like to be hit by a cannonball. He continues, describing the gruesome sight of a man being scalped. Frustrated and angry, he decides to leave, brushing off her attempts to help. He tells her to go to hell and rides off, leaving her behind. Shortly after, a woman named Annie arrives at the house, looking for Frank. Annie introduces herself, seemingly with an urgent message or task for him. She mentions that the area around Three Rivers is no longer safe, hinting at danger. Meanwhile, in a saloon, a group of outlaws handles crates of dynamite. Their leader berates one of his men, calling him a useless imbecile. A mysterious stranger enters, asking for a man named Tennis Wash. The outlaw leader, Wash, confronts the stranger, asking who he is. The stranger warns Wash that he has been stealing from the wrong people. A tense standoff ensues, with the stranger challenging Wash to a fight. He gives Wash a choice: die like a coward inside or face him like a man outside. Wash accepts the challenge, and the two men step outside for a duel. In the dusty street, the stranger proves to be faster, shooting Wash down. Later, another group of men, led by Tom, arrives and finds Wash's body. Realizing the killer is nearby, Tom orders his men to give chase immediately. In another location, a man named Briggs is furious to find his safe has been opened. He questions a woman, realizing that his stepchildren are missing. Two children arrive at a remote cabin, calling out for a Mr. Connor. The man from the cabin, Frank Connor, emerges cautiously with his gun drawn. He demands to know who they are and what they are doing on his property. The girl introduces herself as Grace, and her younger brother as Ethan. They explain that their mother married their stepfather 5 years ago after their father died. At first, their stepfather was kind, but he soon became cruel and abusive. They reveal that their mother has been missing for a week, and they fear for her safety. Grace explains they found a combination to their stepfather's safe. Inside, they discovered a paper that led them directly to Connor. Suddenly, two of Briggs's men are spotted approaching the cabin. They are searching for the children, who they know couldn't have gone far. Connor quickly hides with the children as the men begin to search the area. The men find the cabin empty and decide the children must have disappeared. They give up the search and decide to head back to town. Once safe, Connor asks the children what kind of information led them to him. They describe the list, which included his birthday, location, and even a photograph. They explain they couldn't go to the police because their stepfather is a government agent. Most disturbingly, the list contained the word eradicate next to the names. Realizing the grave danger, Connor believes the children and decides he must help them. He retreats to his cabin to think, telling the children to stay hidden and quiet. Elsewhere, Briggs is in his warehouse, surrounded by weapons and gunpowder. His associate, Roger, warns him that Washington, D.C. is questioning their activities. They are suspected of illegally selling arms to native tribes. Fearing for his family, Roger asks to be released from the operation. Briggs coldly tells him there is only one way to leave his operation. He then shoots Roger in the back, killing him instantly. On the phone, Briggs learns that both Connor and the children are missing. He orders his men to find them at all costs. Back with Connor, the children ask for their mother's name. He replies, Heather. They show him a locket, which he recognizes as a gift he once gave her. Connor confesses that their mother was the only woman he ever truly loved. He explains that after returning from the war, he was a broken man, and their relationship ended. Meanwhile, Heather is being held captive by Briggs's men. Briggs, whom she calls Travis, arrives and taunts her cruelly. He reveals to her that she is nothing more than a bounty to him. Connor leads the children through the wilderness, promising to take them somewhere safe. He tells them they will stay with a friend while he investigates their mother's disappearance. They arrive at the home of Sonny, a Native American friend of Connor's. Connor introduces the children to Sonny, one of the bravest men he knows. He recounts how Sonny, a fellow soldier, once saved his life during the war. Connor seeks help from another acquaintance who secretly works for Briggs. The man despises Briggs and agrees to help Connor find Heather. As Heather is being moved, she confronts her captors, calling them disgusting men. She warns them that Briggs is a wanted criminal who is merely using them. Captain McAllister of the U.S. Army arrives to confront Briggs. He presents evidence that weapons from Briggs's operation have been used against soldiers. McAllister gives Briggs a final warning to cease his illegal activities. Connor finds Briggs, whose real name is Travis, and confronts him. It's revealed Travis is the man who ran away with Heather while Connor was at war. Travis taunts Connor, revealing he knows about the children he abandoned. Travis springs a trap, and his men surround and capture Connor. Using the confusion, Connor manages to break free and escape into the woods. During the ensuing firefight, Sonny arrives to aid his friend. Tragically, Sonny is shot by one of Briggs's men while protecting Connor. With his dying breath, Sonny tells Connor to find Heather at Hollow Creek. Grieving but determined, Connor writes a letter to his children. He promises them he will bring their mother back and they will be a family. A sympathetic guard helps Heather escape, telling her a wagon will meet her. The other outlaws discover the betrayal and kill the guard who helped her. Connor brings the children to his father, Abe's, ranch for safety. Abe meets his grandchildren for the first time, welcoming them warmly. Preparing for the inevitable fight, Connor teaches his son Ethan how to handle a gun. He has a heartfelt conversation with his father, who encourages him not to give up. Briggs reveals his motive: Connor works for a rival government faction disrupting his business. Captain McAllister and his troops arrive to arrest Briggs for his crimes. Cornered, Briggs takes McAllister hostage, demanding a trade for Frank Connor. On a dusty road, Connor finally finds Heather, who has escaped her captors. Their reunion is fraught with years of pain and misunderstanding. Seeing the bruises on her, Connor's resolve hardens: he must stop Briggs. Connor agrees to the trade and rides into the compound to face his old enemy. He tells Heather to stay hidden, but she follows, unwilling to let him face Briggs alone. Connor approaches Briggs, who holds McAllister at gunpoint. Briggs is stunned as Heather reveals herself, appearing like a ghost from the past. He taunts Connor, claiming Heather never loved him anyway. To save them, Heather plays a desperate gambit, pretending she still loves Briggs. She asks him to run away with her and the children, to start a new life. She moves closer, promising him everything if he'll just let the captain go. As Briggs is momentarily distracted by her words, McAllister condemns him to death. Seizing the opportunity, Heather pulls a hidden knife and stabs Briggs. Connor fires his weapon, and in the chaos, Briggs shoots back. Heather is caught in the crossfire and falls, mortally wounded. Connor rushes to her side, holding her as her life fades. In her final moments, she looks at him and says, "I forgive you." She asks him to be strong for her and for their children. Heather dies in the arms of the man she first loved. Connor's father, a former army surgeon, attempts to save her but it's too late. The children arrive, asking if their mother is going to be okay. Connor struggles to find the words, explaining that she lost too much blood. He finally tells them the truth, that their grandfather told them everything. Grace and Ethan embrace him, calling him dad for the first time. Sometime later, life has settled at the ranch. Abe has a surprise for the children. He leads out a small pony, a gift for his grandchildren. The children are overjoyed as they take turns riding their new friend. Connor watches them, a faint smile on his face. He tells his father he never wants to leave them again. The broken soldier has finally found his way home. Together, the new family looks toward the horizon, ready to build a future. If you want a recap of your favorite movies and shows, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next ones. See you next time, everyone.